Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style.
And I'm Jill Chivers from shopyourwardrobe.com.
So we're going to talk about kind of wardrobe basics or building a wardrobe, what you need to have and what you might need to think about. Now this is an enormous topic.
Huge.
So we won't be covering it all in this short video. But we just want to kind of think about it because I wrote a post and it's interesting. It was back in 2008, but I recently just got it out and, republished it, did a little tweak. And it's completely as relevant today as it was back in 2008.
In fact, I didn't even realise it had been written 8 years ago when I saw it come through in the newsletter. I thought it was recent.
So yes, but what it is, it's about giving you some ideas of what you might need in your wardrobe. Now, Jill's written an article about putting together wardrobes, but from a very different aspect, and it's more about the kind of holistic, personal, psychological aspect in a way, versus this is a list of, you need a pair of sunglasses and a pair of pants.
Yes.
I don't like being too prescriptive. No. And even though I do have this blog post, because I know that one of the most important aspects of building a wardrobe is around your lifestyle. And this is something that Jill touches on in her article. Because when I did my training, I was told, we all needed, 2 suits and 5 shirts and 3 pairs of pumps and it was a very, very small, defined, prescriptive list that, that we couldn't move from. And I think that life is not like that anymore.
No, it isn't. And it's funny, this post on 16 wardrobe essentials, I didn't read it as being prescriptive at all. To me, what it represented was structure and shape, which is useful to a lot of us when we are thinking and rethinking our wardrobe, which is how do I approach it? What are some of the factors that I need to consider? And in the post, which Imogen might link to, that I wrote, I have 10 factors that you consider. And I think it melds really nicely with this idea of 16 wardrobe essentials, which are just suggestions. But I love the fact that they give this shape and this structure to somebody who is in a process of assessment, or I'm either somewhere on the scale of a wholesale review of my wardrobe and life, or I'm just looking to add some interest because I'm a little bit bored with what I've got.
And I think too, particularly, say, if you're Marie Kondoing your wardrobe, where she just says if it doesn't bring you joy, throw it all out. It's like, wait a minute, let's actually have a look at what you might need in your wardrobe. And that's what this list is really about. It's like going, you need tops, you need bottoms, you need layers, you need some accessories, you need a pair of sunglasses to protect your eyes. You might find that, a skirt is good or a dress is good, but of course these come down to personal preferences. So I'm not saying you have to have all these things, but, and this is where that whole wholesale, like throw it all out if it doesn't bring you joy, you can get completely, you throw everything out. And I have heard of people who've gone and done this where they've thrown their wardrobe out and then they're in tears saying, oh no,
I can't go to work.
I'll
be naked.
And so I think it's looking at, and I think today I wanted just to talk about lifestyle because I think that's such an important factor when building a wardrobe and what you might need in your wardrobe.
So massive, and not only in building a working wardrobe, but if you go down the scale of consumption and shopping, certainly that's been one of the things that I have found really helpful in thinking about my over shopping tendencies is where on earth am I going to wear this? Does my life have a place for this? Even just recently I saw this beautiful dress online. It was vintage, it was this, it was that, and the collar did this, and it had the boning, and it was from wherever, and it was leopard print and multiple, and I fell completely in love with it. And really I was well down this sort of track of lunacy before I had this light bulb. My life doesn't contain any spaces, places, people or events where this dress would be required. And, which, says something about how a shopping addiction can grip you, that you can still get so far down a path. But I didn't end up buying it because that was the big thing. My life doesn't have that kind of thing in it. And when it comes to constructing a wardrobe, that's a really good touchstone. Yes. What do I do? What are the events that I do? What is my life about on a regular basis? And what do I need to make that life work when it comes to style?
And then I've had clients who've been at the opposite end of the spectrum where they're refusing in like going to lunch even.
Right.
Because all their wardrobe's too old, tired and casual.
Right.
Just to, go out and have a nice lunch, not even anywhere particularly fancy. And so, and this is where it's particularly if you've got to that point where you've let your wardrobe kind of just gradually kind of get to that point where it's had it. Yeah. Where do you start?
Yeah.
What's this, the starting point? And so looking at going, okay, well, what do we need in a wardrobe? And I think a great thing to do is to get a pen and paper out, write out what your average week looks like. So what does it look like? What do you spend your time doing? I spend these many days at work and my work requires this sort of clothing. I spend this much time at home with my children, or I do these sort of hobbies, or I exercise this amount, or I love to go skydiving and I need specialist gear, right? Whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So to actually spend that time looking in depth at your lifestyle, and then looking at it over time too, you go, well, an average week is this. But say, once a month I may do something a little special.
Yeah.
Or once every 3 months I may do something special. And I think we always need a bit of special occasion clothing.
Yeah.
But we don't, unless we have a ball ground lifestyle, we're going to the Oscars all the time.
Yeah.
And even the celebrity borrows those.
That's right. They don't even own those dresses.
No.
The other thing we said in another video too was not just looking, behind or at the present, but in the future.
Yeah.
And your example of people who are refusing, say, an invitation to go to lunch with a bunch of girlfriends because they don't have the right kind of gear for that is also, I think, an interesting thing to add into that equation. Is that what would I like to do that I'm not really feeling confident because I don't have the clothing that supports that activity? And I'm not talking about some huge, big, extravagant change in your lifestyle, but things like that. That if I had some things that suited those occasions, I'd be more inclined to say yes. And I think that's what we want our wardrobes to do. We want our wardrobes to support our lives. The lives are the important things, but our wardrobes should help us say yes to the things that we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have those things that say yes, so if you find yourself saying no for the lack of what to wear, that's, I think, when you really need to sit down and actually assess your wardrobe and make some changes, because there is something missing there.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the key things is going, okay, what's happening in my life? And so I may only do a special event once every 6 months, but I don't need a huge special event wardrobe, but I need a couple of things.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be really complicated. It can be a mix and match sort of thing. But, and the other thing is people don't remember what you're wearing. So, and this is where often with special events, people often think, oh, I need to buy something new. Honestly, 99% of people, and there has been research on this, where a Barry Manilow big head t-shirt was worn out, and yet less than half, it was something like a third of the people remembered even seeing this t-shirt, who had just been in an environment where half the people in the room were wearing it.
Yes, and honestly, unless you're wearing a dress that's stitched together with enormous gold bobby pins, then people aren't probably going to remember.
And there's paparazzi following you.
People aren't going to remember what you're wearing on special occasions either.
So people don't remember, and so that's the thing is, and often it's just change an accessory, and you can actually change the look and feel of something anyway. So you don't, if you've got some good basics. And this is where that whole if it doesn't bring you joy, throw it out thing can actually miss the point. Because sometimes the basics don't bring us joy. It's what we put over the top, it's the accessories, it's the excitement we can add to it that it makes it work. And I always think of, rather than saying does the outfit bring you, or does the thing bring you joy, it's does the outfit bring you joy. And that is a better way of looking at it. So when you're looking at your wardrobe, you're going, before I throw this out or decide if I need something, is does it make an outfit that brings me joy?
That's right. Is it a piece of glue? Is it the ham in a sandwich? Yeah.
Or the butter even.
Yeah, exactly. And I think though the overall point about having some overarching thinking about the shape and structure of your wardrobe, I think is a really helpful thing when it comes to any kind of wardrobe review, whether it's wholesale, whether it's just a couple of small things to get you really excited about what you've got. I think that's a really helpful way of thinking about it.
So so we'll link to those blog posts with this video, but it is something to think about. Think about my lifestyle, what it is today, not yesterday, 5 days ago, 5 years ago, because often we hold on to things that related to an old lifestyle.
Yes.
And also looking into the future, going, where am I going to? What am I going to need? And that's really going to give you the structure and basis for what you need in your wardrobe, rather than a list of the 10 things you must have this season. And I think those lists are not helpful.
Yeah.
What you want to know is, what do I need and what do I enjoy wearing?
Absolutely.